All right. Now, normally, okay, let me restart. Today I got a record signed by the entire band Steel Train. Now, Steel Train is one of my favorite bands. Now, normally when you get a signed record, you meet the whole band at the same time. Each person signs the records, and then you move on with your life, thank them, and that's the end of it. Now, let me tell you a story about how I met every single member of the band one at a time over a 12-hour period. Okay, starting with number one. So I traveled from Ohio and traveled all the way to New Jersey and paid some money to get a meet and greet with Jack Antonoff. With that being said, I brought all my Bleachers records. I've got the orange vinyl, I've got the clear vinyl, I've got the single that he did, I Want to Get Better vinyl. Then I also have my Steel Train self-titled LP with the red vinyl, and I have the Turnpike Ghost 7-inch, right? So I take those, signs all of them. Great. After signing my records, Jack and I took some photos together, and like my normal self, I dropped the rarest record that I had with me, and we managed to document the entire process of me dropping it and picking it up. And then Jack thanked me for supporting their early music, and it was like the coolest thing ever. Okay, cool. Now, I'm thinking that's the end of my day, right? I met Jack Antonoff. He signed my stuff. I'm feeling good. We take the stuff back to the hotel. It's in the bag. Boom. We grab some lunch, and we sit down to eat. And I'm sitting there and I'm eating, and I'm not eating. I'm waiting on my food, and I see a gentleman sitting there. I'm like, whoa! That looks like Daniel from Steel Train with his family. Now I have a situation, right? I don't have the records with me. They're back at the hotel, and I'm at a restaurant, just back down that way. I have to contemplate. What do I do here? Do I interrupt this gentleman's meal and with his family and his little kid? Well, I might as well, right? Already here, drove all the way from Ohio. I'm here, so let's do it. So I drive. Or I don't drive. I drove over here already. I walk back to the hotel, and I get the records, right? I'm frantic. I'm like running. I got it. I get back to the restaurant. What was I telling the story? What was the story about?
Daniel.
Yeah, so I get back to the restaurant, and they're just paying the bill, and they're getting ready to leave. So like, boom, perfect timing. Could have been the worst day of my life. So, boom, here I am sitting in a restaurant with Daniel. He goes and he gets up to go to the bathroom. I'm like, okay, so I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna stand right behind him in the urinal, and I'm gonna say, sir, I know you. Oh, that's not what happened, really. I ended up standing outside the bathroom. He comes out. I said, sir, are you Daniel from Steel Train? He's like, yeah. So I told him about how I came from Ohio, and I asked him if he sign my records and everything. This was my first show. He was really excited for me. He signed my records. It was really nice. Apologized for interrupting his meal with his family. Thankfully, I didn't have to ask in front of his whole family. Boom, 2 in the bag. I'm like, great, this is awesome. I'm taking him back to the hotel because I'm not taking him to the show. That's nice. So I walked my happy little self back to the hotel. Dropped him off the show. Okay, so now, time to see Steel Train. All right, now this is my first Steel Train show, you're right. I have not been to a Steel Train show in my life, but I've been a fan since 2008 when I first heard I Feel Weird, right? Just like anybody else that heard that song. I think they play Conan or something like that, one of them late shows, and it was great. So fell in love with the band, and boom, fan. That's why I got these records. When I met Jack, and he was like, oh man, there aren't that many of those in existence. He was kind of proud that I own these. But anyway, so Daniel, he said, oh man, when I saw the Turnpike Ghost vinyl, he said, oh man, I don't think I have my copy of that anymore. Boom, I got records that the bands don't even have. We had to sit through another band to get to Steel Train, but we worked our way up. We got in the front row, kind of. We're like one person back, but we're tall, so it worked out. And Steel Train comes on, and it's just like amazing, unbelievable show. It's rocking out. There's a pause in the music, and I just scream like, all right, Evan. And then Jack looks right at me, and he's like, all right, Evan. And then he's like, yeah. And he's like, give it up for Evan. Tells everybody's names. I'm like, yes. Jack and I had a moment. We're connecting. This is good. We're building a friendship. This is a good thing. Show ends. I'm happy. I'm having a good time. We're ready. Gonna come back and see Carly Rae Jepsen, whatever. So we're hanging out in the back, and I'm just hanging out, and I see none other than the two members of the Bleachers just hanging out. Oh man, that's pretty cool. I didn't realize that they'd be in town. So I'm like, hey, that's nice. I see them walk away. I'm like, where are they going? They're going to talk to somebody? Sure enough, I look over, and there's John, the drummer from Steel Train, just hanging out in the back with a beer, hanging out with his wife. So I'm like, I gotta walk over. I've gotten 2 signatures. What's the worst that can happen? So I walk over to him, and I say, hey man, you're John from Steel Train? And he's like, yeah, that's me. And I told him my story, and he was super excited I drove so far. I was so excited for it to be my first show, and it was a good time, I was really happy to meet him. He was very genuine. He talked to me for a very long time. And I was like, I don't have my records with me, but is it possible that I could maybe get my records signed by you, maybe run back to my hotel, get these records, and get them signed? And this gentleman is the nicest person I've ever met. Now, keep in mind, he's like works professionally in the industry. He's a drummer for Bleachers, and he does engineering, producing. And he says, you know what, man? Just let me give you my phone number. I'm not going to be here, so you can just text me when you're back, and then I'll meet you up with you, and I can sign it. Like, here I am sitting on cloud 9, and get these records. I get back there, and I'm texting him, and I'm waiting. And I was like, maybe he's just busy, maybe he doesn't have his phone or something like that. And sure enough, he comes walking in. I'm like, hey man, how's it going? He's like, oh yeah, you didn't text me. And I was like, I did. He's like, oh, maybe, wow, that's weird. I didn't get your number. In hindsight, he's like, maybe I gave you the wrong number. I think he probably did, because it showed up as a green text box instead of a blue text box, and he had an iPhone. So I'm 3 for 3. Might as well try and press my luck, see if I can get 2 more. And I say, John, do you know if Justin and Evan are around? Because I've met 3 of you guys, and I would love to meet the other 2. And what do you know? He says, yeah, they're around somewhere. I don't know. Like, I think Evan said he might be heading out or something, but maybe they'll be around. Like 10 seconds later, I see Justin walking up on the sidewalk, and I just like wave him and say, oh my God, hey, how's it going? He was so excited to see me. Signed my records. Really nice. Left a nice note on my records. I am 4 for 4, just like that. I got 1 person left. I got Evan Winokur. I've been following this man for a while. I've been friends on Facebook with him for a while. I don't know if I'm gonna get a chance to meet him. So first thing I do is I tweet. I'm like, hey, I got every signature set of Evan's, hoping maybe he'll see it, maybe he'll reach out. But then I decided I gotta be more direct. So I messaged him on Facebook, and I said, hey, I just want to let you know that it was an amazing show. I've met every single person except for you, and they've all signed my records, and I've got a couple of your records. I would love it if you're still around, if we can meet up and you can sign my stuff. If not, that's cool. It's still an amazing show. Travel safely and everything. And he said, hey, I am 30 yards, 90 feet, in front of the State Farm tent. We hurry over there, and I'm checking people left and right. I'm turning people around, looking at their face. I'm not finding Evan. I message him, and I'm just like, I'm having trouble finding you. He's like, actually, I ran backstage, but I'll be back in 5. And he says, meet me in front of the State Farm tent, coming now. Oh, so here I am standing in front of the State Farm tent, excited as can be. Lady Bishop Briggs is standing right in front of me. I see Evan coming through the crowd. He is coming, and he's just right there. I'm like, hey, it's us. And he comes over, and we have a nice conversation, and he's just like so excited to see us, and he's signing my records, and it's great. There's sand everywhere. We had some words, and he thanked me for my time, and that is how I got my completely autographed copies of Steel Train and Turnpike Ghost. Look at all that. We got some good stuff on there. We got thanks for making the trip. That's from Daniel. We got you rock, means so much to us that you came. That's from Evan. And let's see what else we got here. Thanks, Cole. Safe travels. That's from Justin. Boom. We got some work there. Thank you so much for traveling so far. That's more Evan. I got work. I got work. Yeah, so that's how all of the little baby Steel Trains met them all. So that's my life.